Okay, so in this video, we are going to see what is the greatest and the least element. The greatest and the least element is also called as a maximum and minimum element respectively. So minimum and the maximum element is nothing but the subset of maximal and the minimal superset. So what is a maximal? Let's see first what is maximal. If in a poset element is not related to any other element, this is what the maximal. So any other element, and the maximum is a subset of that maximal. The definition is if it is a maximal and every element is related to it. So let's see the example. Example number 1. Here in this case, according to the definition, maximal element or elements are not related to other elements. So here a we can see that D and E are not related to any other elements. So students, if you remember, related means what? A is related to B because B is at the higher level of A, and that's why we can say that A is related to B and B is not related to A. Yes, and that's why this is we can say that A is related to B. So we need to find out the elements which are not related to any other element. So from this diagram we can see that D and E are the two elements which are not related to any other element. Whereas if we look for other elements such as A, B and C, A is related to C, E, even D. B is related to C, E and D. C is related to E and D. So these are not these elements will not come under the maximal set. So this is how we can find out the maximal. Now coming to the maximum. If it is in a maximal and every element is related to it. Now what is a maximum? Maximum we can find out from the maximal set. So maximal set we got as a DE. The another definition is every element is related to it. Now if we see every element in a poset, so every element, so let's see A is related to D, okay, B is related to D, fine, C is related to D, yes, but E is not related to D. If we say that E is related to D from this direction, then it is not possible to come downward because downward direction won't give you a relationship, only upward direction give you a relationship. So D is not related to E, and that's why from these two elements are not related to all other elements. D is not related to E, whereas E is not related to D, and that's why the maximum set will be null. Now let's see what is a minimal. If in a poset no element is related to element. Now from this diagram we can see that A and B are the two elements which are not related to that, sorry, no elements are related to those elements. So A and B are the two elements. For these two elements no other elements are related to these elements, and that's why they will become a they will go into the set of minimal. Now what is a minimum? That is the least element. If it is in a minimal and it is related to every element, so let's see, A is related to C, D, E, but it is not related to B. Again we can see that we have to go to B like this, where again we are going downward direction, and downward direction is not allowed, and that's why we can say that A is not related to B and B is not related to A. But A can relate to C, D, E, but we want that every element must related to these elements. So the set will be null. This is how we can find out the maximum and minimal. Let's go for example number 2. Here let's find out the maximal. Thus we want the set of elements where element is not related to any other element. So we can see that E is the element where no other element, this element is not related to any other element. So E will be the answer for a maximal. We want to find out the maximum. So the two conditions are there. It should be from a maximal set, and the second is that it every element is related to that element. So let's see, the first condition is satisfied, that it is from a maximal set, and the second condition that every element must relate to E. So A is related to E, we can see. B is related to E, we can see. C is also related to E, D is also related to E, and of course F is related to E, and E is itself related to E. and that's why E will become a set of maximum. So here you can see that every relation are in a higher direction only, and that's why we can say that every element is related to E. Let's talk about the minimal. Now minimal is what the set that where no element is related to that element. So here from with diagram we can see that A is the element, such element where no other element is related to A. That's why it will come under a minimal set. Minimum is what the two conditions again, it should belong to the minimal set, and the second is nothing but it is related to every element. So A is the set from the minimal set, and the second is that A should relate to every element, and we can see from the diagram that A is related to every element of POSET, and that's why this is the answer for a minimal and maximal. So these are the definitions of maximal and minimal. These are some examples that you can solve for the practice. The answers are given in a given with the solution. So you can go through this diagram and have a practice of this. Okay, thank you.